I literally have been hunting through my room, my very first journal. It's just in a composition book. The first entry is June 25th, 2010. I was supposed to journal like once a day or something, but it turned into my spelling notebook where I would do spelling practice tests during the summer. And my mom will tell you that I despised journaling. I did not want to do it. 2012, another composition book, but this time it's green. And this one, I think I stuck with it pretty well. I'm like 13 at this point. It seems like I like it because I barely miss a day, but then I'd pick it up every summer. So I actually picked it up again in 2013. Anytime I'd be cleaning out my room and I'd run into it, I would write a quick little entry. And so this is actually 2015. 2019. After that journal, this was my go-to. I picked it up at Barnes & Noble. It was my first like expensive journal. It's this really nice Italian leather, and I loved the back because it's like a faded letter, and I love how worn the pages are. This is back when I really used to like, I was into decorating my journals. It wasn't just like words. I had graduated into doodling. I would write this little phrase in the front of every journal I got. Keep a notebook. Travel with it, eat with it, sleep with it. Slap into it every stray thought that flutters into your brain. Cheap paper is less perishable than gray matter, and lead pencil markings endure longer than memory. Wow, I was like taping everything I could find in here. I taped pennies in here, Polaroids. I tried pressing flowers. This is so cute of me, actually. Candy bar wrappers, tickets. This was really just like, kind of like a junk journal. Like, where did I get all these Mod Pizza stickers? It slowly, if you can see, just turned into a lot of writing. But yeah, you kind of see it like progressively over time as I get older. I don't want to say I get less creative, but I stop like acting on my creative desires. Or maybe I just wasn't having very many at the time. I was going through it though. Like starting college was such a crazy time of year. So I just had like a lot of thoughts that I needed to get out. I found this. I had this, I think, in high school. I just was having a crisis because what did I know about a career? And you know what's so funny is all of the notes in here are about social media. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. All of this is about YouTube. Wow, what a full circle moment. I had this in high school for a little bit. I just would grab this anytime there was a memory I wanted to write down about something crazy that happened with my friends. Because this was like late high school, so we were always like getting into trouble. And so I wanted to like remember it. It looks like this bled a little bit into college, but pretty soon this meshed into just like my regular emotional journal. I briefly went through a bullet journal phase. I don't know, I still sometimes want to try and get back into it because my spreads were kind of cute. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, it just brought out like a very creative side in me that I hadn't seen in my journals in a very long time. Because I don't know, something about the grid format just made me want to draw and like be a little bit more creative. Like this is so cute. Are you kidding? This was like my schedule in college. This is how I would write out my to-do list, my schedule. I actually really did fill it up for the most part. I drew a little boba to track my monthly goals. I would dip into this journal all the time because I would kind of like get into a bullet journaling phase, then get into like a different planner. We pick up in 2018 with this little leather journal. I think my mom bought it for me. It has like just a fun like layer that unwraps, and I have a bunch of like papers in here. This was the journal that I had when I studied abroad. So a lot of this stuff is from France. A lot of the pages that I have just sitting in here. Like this is a little menu from a restaurant we ate at in Marrakesh. It's just like straight venting, tears to the page. I have a lot of like bucket lists in this one. Bucket list for being abroad, to do before I leave college, LA bucket list, yeah, movies to watch, a list of things that make me happy, This is the journal that I was writing in when I was living in France. This is the journal that I bought when I was living in France. It's definitely the most plain so far. Yeah, see? First of all, I'm so dramatic. The COVID journal. And then there's a little note right here that says, are you kidding me? It's not even lined up with the page. This journal was purchased at a little craft store near Annemasse, France. The first entry is on March 21st, 2020. I know. Yeah, I was going through it. Yeah, these are all, okay, so this is like, I'm talking about quarantine. I'm talking about what I do every day, what my days are like. Midnight showers, leftovers, Animal Crossing, group FaceTime calls. I'm writing out what I'm doing every day. I'm writing ideas of things to do every day. Did I go to Hawaii? Oh, there's a plane ticket in here. Yeah, Honolulu to Seattle. And then I did buy this little tiny thing off of Amazon. See, I wrote that quote that I write in the front of all the journals. This journal was like falling apart. It was actually really hard to write in. It was really hard to like do anything creative. It felt like all of the pages were falling out. Because if you see, it's like a whole bunch of little mini books like glued together. So the pages were super awkward. But this was where I moved to California. And I always sign off when I finish a journal. My last entry in this journal, I finally bought a new one. This journal has been through a lot with me. The end of college, the start of adulthood. As always, thank you for the space to discover who I am. Can't wait to come back and read all these thoughts. Anyways, signing off for the last time. XOXO, Sienna. I just want to point out, I was always signing off my journal entries XOXO, even before I had seen Gossip Girl or knew what Gossip Girl was. Just want to point that out because somebody thought I was copying Gossip Girl, and I was not. Then we have this journal. I love this journal. This whole part is like textured, and it's hardback. So again, like I said, hardback makes my handwriting really good. Oh, I tried to press flowers again. Yep, see, we got the little rose petals. Yeah, I was really learning a lot about myself during this phase of life because I was living in another state post-grad. So I also at this point have figured out what kind of pen I like best. I'm also like holding it very far so that you can't read my business, but I guess I'm taking that risk. And then we have the final current journal. I think it might be my favorite journal so far. I bought it in London a couple of years ago. My friend Danielle found it. I was there shopping for a journal. I was like, I want to find a journal while I'm in Europe. And my friend Danielle found this on the bottom floor of Harrods. If you've been to London, you know where that is. And it made me even more happy that a friend of mine had found it. It felt like a collaborative effort. The flowers, like there's a lot of texture, which is really nice. They're embroidered onto the front. I started it on my birthday, on my 24th birthday. But yeah, I mostly just write in all of these now. I don't really like junk journal as much anymore, but I kind of wish I did. But I am not even halfway. Probably, I can't wait to see what the second half of it is filled with. I might finish this journal when I'm 27. That's so crazy to think about. But yeah, these are all of my journals. I'm so grateful for the practice that journaling has become to me. I feel like without it, I would not be able to regulate my thoughts so naturally. I feel like because I've been so intentional in going through these books and checking in with myself so frequently, now I can walk through my day-to-day, and if I'm feeling off, I know exactly what to ask myself. I know how to speak to myself because I have practiced the language of my inner world. It helps with determining what I want that inner world to sound like instead of just letting the inner world sound however it wants. I encourage anyone to start a writing practice. Everybody can benefit from documenting themselves through writing. Yeah, bye.